All right, welcome everybody. Excellent to see so many people in the room, and welcome to those that have also joined online. So my name is Camilla Halford, and I'm going to be chairing today's session with Associate Professor Dana Sternick. And I think you all know that you are here for community programs in falls prevention, which is super exciting, and I love this session. So we've got a number of people speaking, so we're going to get straight into it. And start by introducing Maria Jasmine Gomes de Silva. She's a PhD student at Neuroscience Australia. Her session is going to be about motor performance and reliability of mobility testing through telehealth in Parkinson's disease. Let's welcome Maria.
Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine, I'm a PhD student, and I'm very happy to share my results with you. This study was supervised by Dr. Paolo Pellissioni. And telehealth has rapidly become very used since the pandemic of COVID-19, especially for rehabilitation and assessment for people with Parkinson's. However, a key challenge remains about it. Can we trust remote assessment? This question is particularly important because Parkinson's is a highly heterogeneous condition that involves motor symptoms like gait impairments, balance impairments. It also can increase the risk of falls in this population. So having accurate assessments are very important to monitor the progression and to evaluate the interventions that are being applied for this population. But at the same time, the characteristics of people with Parkinson's are they create a barrier for remote assessment, especially because when we talk about the security of the remote assessment and reliability and feasibility, we have to be careful when applying this. Oh, I can't see the screen, sorry. It's all right. Okay, so we have to be careful when assessing this population remotely. Also, we have some studies exploring the remote assessments for this population. We still have a limited evidence about it. So we have some studies with some limitations, small samples, and studies that only evaluate single tests. More recently, the policy study have contributed for this field with remote assessments for people with Parkinson's and adding a set of balance and gait tests, and it showed us excellent feasibility and reliability. However, it seems necessary a more comprehensive set of tests for balance, straight gait, and strength of this population that can capture a more comprehensive functional aspects for the functional capacity and mobility for this population. So the aim of this study was to examine the inter-rater reliability of functional mobility tests performed remotely via telehealth and their correlation with the motor function in people with Parkinson's. This study was approved by the Human Research Ethics Committee of UNSW, and all the participants gave the consent to participate in the study. And the eligibility criteria were people with Parkinson's in the mild and moderate stages, who could follow instructions and walk independently. And for the assessments, we have applied 14 physical tests in this public. And we also have the score for the short performance battery, it's the SPPB. And we did assessments that were video recorded, and these assessments were evaluated by 2 independent raters. Oh, I'm sorry. For the statistical analysis, we have applied the intra-class correlation coefficient, the ICC, and we also associated the motor performance with using the Spermer's correlation. We included in the gait tests the 10 meters walk tests, 4 meter walk tests, the normal and fast pace, the tool task walking. For dynamic balance, we have included the tandem walking, the timed up and go, and the 30-60 degrees turn. For the static balance, we added the normal standing, the feet together stand, tandem and semi-tandem stand, and single leg. And for the lower limb strength, we have measured the 5 repetition sit to stand test and the 30 seconds sit to stand tests. From the tests that were performed, we calculated the score for the SPPB, that it's a battery that is very used for capturing the physical functional capacity of the older people. And the score ranges from 0 to 12. That indicates with lower scores that indicates worse physical performance, and higher score indicates a best physical performance. So we included 39 people with Parkinson's with a mean age of 68 years old. 69% were male and 31% were female, with a mean score of 36.6 of motor impairment, which indicates a mild to moderate impairment. And the disease stage was 21% on stage 1, 62% in stage 2, and 18% in stage 3. We have in this table some means of the tasks that we have applied. And on the other side, we have the means for the short physical performance battery. And when we look at the inter-rater reliability, we have an excellent agreement for the gait tests, dynamic balance tests between the raters. And the lower limbs, the lower limb strength straight tests, they ranged from good to excellent reliability, which indicates that both evaluators, they are like matching on the assessments. When we look to the inter-rater reliability of the SPPB, the balance and the 4 meters walk and the total score of the SPPB, they had an excellent agreement between raters, and the 4 meters walk tests, they ranged from very good to excellent. In this slide, you have the correlation between physical performance tests and motor impairment. And we saw that individuals who have more motor impairment, they show the worst performance on the timed up and go, that is a mobility test. They did it perform it with more time. And they also had difficulty performing the 60-degree turn test. And also they have less time in performance in the tandem test, and also perform the 5 sit to stand test with more time. We saw the same thing when we look at the SPPB score. They showed worse performance with a lower score of SPPB. So we conclude with these results that the functional assessments performed via telehealth, they demonstrated excellent inter-rater reliability and clinical sensitivity in reflecting Parkinson's motor severity. And we also saw that individuals who have more motor impairment, they perform some tasks with more difficulty. And the consistent correlation between greater motor impairment and poor performance of mobility, they reinforce the viability of the telehealth, and it's a reliable strategy for remote monitoring of motor functions. And we can see that individuals who performance with the 30-60-degree tests and tandem tests with worse performances, we think about the characteristics of Parkinson's, like the freezing and the postural impairment. We are still processing data for more 20 participants, and I have to mention some safety aspects that not any individuals on our research showed any problems while performing the tasks. But however, the caution is always necessary, because it was a controlled set of assessment, and we only included individuals in the mild and moderate stages. We didn't evaluate the individuals with more on the more motor compromission. Thank you for watching. I have to acknowledge the Aging Futures Institute of UNSW for funding us, and also acknowledge to the Parkinson's New South Wales and Parkinson Australia for helping us with the recruitment. And if you have any questions, we can talk later of this discussion, or you can send me an email. Thank you.
We actually have a couple of minutes for questions now, if you're happy to take them. And Paolo has the microphone.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, did the participants measure their own tests at home, or how did that provide?
No, all the assessments were realized at Miro.
Okay. Great.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was a controlled set, so we have an evaluator conducting the tasks and other evaluator doing the scores.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
No worries.
That relates to a question I have, if I can take this. So then I guess, for validity, you might want to have someone, the comparison might be someone at home via telehealth versus someone at the research institute. Would that be a wise study to do, or do you have enough? Is there enough information already in the literature about the validity of doing it in those different settings?
I think we don't still have the home environment tests, but I think it's a next step of the study to compare the environment at home and on the controlled environment.
Yeah. And then I guess you'd need to have a carer there to make sure that.
Yes, would be good.
Any other questions in the room? No? Well, then please join me in thanking Jasmine. Great job. All the best with your future work.